So
Did you
funny.
hit go?
Yeah, now we're live.
Amazing.
We were just saying, sorry, we were catching up because we haven't talked to each other in howdy, Instagram now. We haven't talked to each other in a couple weeks.
3 weeks. It's like 3 weeks. It's pushing
like
3 weeks.
I think it's the longest period of time since we started GM Farcaster that I haven't talked to you, like literally. So it was weird.
Yeah.
So we were like, we could just sit here and just talk to each other for like the next hour. But I was like, we should probably let them in. We should probably let them in. We're going to give some retweets here. Make sure people know we are live. Adrian's doing notifications, so I don't have to now, which is nice. Doing everything is really difficult. I don't know how these solo people, I don't know how these solo streamers do it. I got to be honest. You guys get yourself a co-host, especially someone like Adrian. It's amazing. And we're going to be talking about all the news in Farcaster, including we're going to touch Tad on some of the drama, just a little bit. And excited to, dive into all of it. Chatting all things Farcaster. If you all see any notifications on Twitter, please retweet because we need to get the word out. And also on, if you're watching in our mini app on Farcaster, share it out there and let people know. And we'll be back in 40 seconds right after this cute little intro, which we need to update very soon. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Friday. Happy Friday, September 26th, and you are here with Adrian and Nanish Prof for 29 minutes-ish of Farcaster news, but let's not kid ourselves. Very excited to have you back. Look at that beautiful background, by the way. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it might become my permanent background.
It's so nice. Like your photos were incredible.
Okay. I have probably 1,000 photos in my camera roll, and I just sit there and scroll, and I'm like, oh, one is more beautiful than the next, and I love sharing them. And I also brought my mirrorless Sony camera, which is like a better camera.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I haven't looked at
you haven't even looked at those yet? Oh, okay. I can't wait to see those. You should, dare I say, coin it.
It's so funny.
I was going to say, or create a collection. Actually, I'd rather see them as NFTs. Just so that, I don't know.
How should I? Yeah. So at some point I need to go and create like a gallery somewhere. Yeah. I'm going to blog about it. Like I'll do like an actual recap somewhere. And then someone did tag me and said like, okay, but can you mint them as NFTs so we can collect them? Yeah. Like what is the easiest way to do that these days?
Probably highlight. Highlight is good. I like highlight. Manifold's another option. You can create collections on there. And I think those are the best options right now. If you guys have other suggestions and you're in our chat, drop in what you're using. We'd love to know. But those are the ones from folks that I've talked to who are minting regularly or using. There's also Blueprint, which is fairly new. I don't know enough about that one, so can't speak to that too much. Yeah,
or Zora.
You definitely. Like Zora, but that's you're coining. It's not an NFT, so it just depends on how you want to put it out in the world. I'd rather collect these as NFTs personally, but that's me.
Surprised to hear you say that.
It's me. You know how I am. You know how I do. So I have to shoot a note. One more live. All right. I am so excited to have you back, though. And I loved our guest hosts. Our guest hosts were amazing. We had so much fun. But I did miss like having you in the co-host seat. Team collect NFT. I'm waiting for you
Shout out
to go.
Melissa.
Team coin.
Where's Jesse?
Jesse's team
Where's
coin.
Jesse in our chat?
For sure.
Yes, and huge shout out to Rachel, Burr, and Toady. Very much
they did a great job.
Them stepping
They did a great
in.
job.
Love you guys. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to listen to the base camp recap, by the way?
Someone didn't add it to our RSS, Spotify RSS.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I couldn't download it for the plane. Like I listened to it
that today. Oh, you could have maybe you don't have premium. You can download it on YouTube.
No, I don't.
But you need like the premium or whatever. Yeah. So I do that. Just make it collectible already. They don't care how. They just want it collectible. Or maybe a little combo. But yeah, the base camp recap was a lot of fun. Definitely you got to give that a watch. And I will get that out there. I just kind of, when we do those GMs and the PMs, sometimes I forget to like put them in all the places. I just kind of go, okay, that happened and move on with my life. I really need to do that. So
I got through Siege's engagement. I got through Moon Poppy's near-death experience. And
the funniest part is that like Rachel and I were on the mountain like right before that. Like we got down just in time before all that chaos happened. Like we probably were crossing them. Like they were on the way up and we were on the way back. So that's wild. That was so wild because I would have missed my plane, which wouldn't have been a bad thing because then I would have been there for CJ's engagement. So anyway, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I will get that out on all our places so everyone can enjoy wherever they get our podcast. Okay, so we got stuff to talk about. So let's dive in. We've got some news. And we've got some things to chat about. This from Horsefacts. We were PSA seeing elevated swap errors related to gas estimation on base, especially for wallets with low balances. Investigating. So it was really weird because I was getting some weird errors that kept telling me to try lowering the amount, and I was like, okay. I went down as low as like, I don't know, 50 cents or something. And I'm like, this isn't working. I'm like, something's broken. And then it was found the cause, released a fix to mobile and web wallet. If you're still seeing swap errors, quit and reopen the mobile app or hard refresh web. And just make sure you have the most up-to-date version as well. But it was very weird. I did love this too. If you're in line, stay in line. If you're swapping, keep swapping. So, I do love that.
Max has the best. He's the best cast game.
He really does. He really does. It runs in the freaking family, is all I will say. Uncle Horse. Uncle Horse has shared with his nephew. Wow. Okay, moving on. This from Dan from DWR. Farcaster team priorities. Design doing a light brand refresh this week and next, and that they had hired. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that they had hired a team? Okay, wasn't sure if that was before or after you left. Wallet focused on per asset P&L tracking, thank God, and better price reliability. So I would love that because there's so many times when I go in and I'm like, I don't know what I bought this token at, and if I have to go through my activity feed, I'm never going to find it. I just want to click on the token and be like, oh, okay, I bought it at whatever, hold or sell kind of thing. So that would be super helpful. Onboarding, experimenting with algorithmic free onboarding. Don't know what that means. Looking forward to learning.
I know
more.
What it means.
What does it mean? What does algorithmic free onboarding mean?
I guess you could say smart free onboarding. So basically they will on the fly make a decision whether to offer someone free onboarding or whether they should pay. And it'll be based on a number of different input factors. So if they if they think you're likely going to be a valuable
a good
contributor.
poster. Yeah.
So an example of something where you wouldn't get free onboarding is if you're using like an Android simulator.
Ooh.
To sign up, like you're not actually on a phone, but you're like a developer kind of spinning up opening the app on it on a simulator. That's one example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I was curious and I'm curious to see what the factors are too. So I'll be looking, forward to learning more about that because I think that'll
and
be
maybe, yeah. And again, they could go into others, but that is
right. All right.
And I think they're trying to increase up to, they want to start giving out up to, I think like 500 free invites a day or something.
Okay.
It's just how do you get more people on?
It's just how do you get the most bang for the buck, get the best content for that free invite.
I joined the dev call yesterday, if you can't tell.
Okay. Oh, well, that's good. I didn't realize. I meant to go see if Dylan had done a recap and I forgot. So good. You can give us a recap. Let me just finish this. Rewards, new referrals system shipping this week. Well, let me ask you, do you know anything about that? Did they talk about that at all?
No, that is not in detail.
Okay. So I assume that's
But
like the invite boost
Yeah.
they used to give, something like that, which you couldn't have done that at the beginning of my semester when I onboarded 30 in one day. That would have been good.
Can they just give you retroactively?
Can I get retro, please? I would like retro for that. Thank you very much. Because I literally paid for everyone in my class to get on.
So. Linda, if you're listening, put a good word in for Prof, please.
Yeah, there we go. New user experience, AI generated news summaries of what's happening in crypto. Interesting. Do you know anything more about that?
Sure do. And I think you'll be very excited about this. So
is there a trending feed?
It is. It is somewhat of a replacement to the trending feed. It's a little in that they want to create a page using AI that one will give you kind of like the top stories or like the top 3 metas that's happening on Farcaster, but I think it's not just Farcaster. They may be pulling in from just kind of crypto in general as well. I did ask V if this was kind of like, oh, is this building off of the previous trending feed? Like, is this next generation trending? Yeah. It's going to get prime real estate. So not just kind of like trending was like a channel.
Yeah.
This will be like a primary.
But tab. This was trending was a channel and a tab. It had its own tab too. It was both.
But
it
in the mobile app,
this
will end up being like, this will have prime real estate and it's kind of a way of,
because I do think that the AI trending thing they created is pretty good. It doesn't capture everything is the problem. So if you don't use like specific words, it doesn't capture it. Whereas like trending will just show you the casts that are trending.
The specific,
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see.
And and every chance we can get, we can like sneak in a passive aggressive comment to V that we missed the trending tab.
I do. I haven't found a good enough replacement yet. Like I've been using What Did I Miss? It's great. It's really good. Dog. And it's really great, but it's not the same. And same thing with Nanar. I've been using Nanar and asking for the Nanar AI and asking for the top the cast with the most engagement to try and get to see, but it's still not the same. It's just not.
You know what you need? You need a daily news show to catch you up.
I know, that'd be great. Can I get one of those?
Someone build that?
If someone could do that, that'd be great.
I did tell V that this, whatever, it does sound like this will be helpful for us as we
definitely. Definitely. This sounds great. So all in favor of this. This sounds amazing. Can't wait. Do we have any time frame on some of these things? Like when is that happening?
We don't talk time frames. It's
when
it's done when it's done. These are the priorities. That's what they're working on. So
who knows? Could be today. Could be next week. Okay. Mini app bug fixes and protocol app-based storage. App-based storage is interesting. So okay, cool. Anything else that came out of the dev call that you wanted to mention?
I went to a dev call like years ago, and I haven't been to one in a really long time. So I don't know if this was light or heavy. It felt light to me. Like it was a pretty quick. Varun going through the agenda, kind of giving updates. Few people asked questions, added comments, but it was pretty quick.
Pretty short. Okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's not too much going on. I mean, these are pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot happening. I think everyone's been fairly slow for a little bit, and I think we're starting to see the uptick, just starting to happen. So, all righty. Well, that's good. So there is our updates from that. Moving on, this from Linda. Very excited to do a live stream showcasing Farcaster mini apps with Chaskin and Ethereum Foundation next week. So that is going to be Monday at 6 p.m. UTC, whatever time that is. I think that's 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern, but I'm not positive. I don't remember if we're at 4 or 5 hours right now. And also she asked for a boost on this over on X/Twitter. So if you are over on there, give this a little boost for Linda. Also, I think they have their mini app show today, and I forgot to pull that. I can't remember who's on, but I think they're doing that as well. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they are. This from Phil. Welcome, Tamara Winter. Tamara is the commissioning editor for Stripe Press. I'd like to think of Stripe Press as distribution channel for the most interesting ideas in the world. She has kindly agreed to do an AMA, reply with your questions. So this was yesterday, and it was really pretty interesting. Go take a peek of this. I did post about their website design, which if you have never seen the Stripe Press website, go check it out. I just find it very pleasing is the best way I could put it. And all the sites that they build for the individual books, I just find it to be very well done. And just in general, like even their book like everything, they just have a very good design style. But she did say that they're redoing it, and I'm like, oh no. And so I did say, please don't use, I said, please avoid whoever worked on Cracker Barrel. And she said, and Jaguar. Yes, I agree. Yes, don't rebrand that way. But yeah, so it was really interesting AMA. Go take a peek. I did love this one. If you were trapped on a desert island for 1 year and could only bring 3 books, which would you bring? Probably Notes from the Underground, The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt, which I thought was interesting, and White Teeth, but I'd probably have a completely different list on another day. So I don't know. I just thought it was a very fun AMA. I love the books AMAs. I think they're different and fun and tap into like a different part of Farcaster. But I also really love the founder AMAs, and I wish they bring them back as well. I know they started to, but then they kind of aren't on a regular basis. So would love to see more of those. All right, moving on. This from Brad Q. Have you noticed the @Derek trend is now spreading? And
I have.
Well, yes. Well, yes, it is. So we have top 9 Snoops from Moon Poppy, which was like, okay. And then Siege had top 9 video games after 1999. That is very specific, very specific thing. And this came from Derek's top 9 emojis, I think was the first one he did. And what was
I don't think so.
What has he done before this? Or this is the most this is recent one.
Yes. I mean, I think he's been doing these for a while. I'm going to do a quick search, and
this one kind of popped up where then all of a sudden there just were a lot of copycats.
Maybe that was the one that started the copy pasta.
Yes, it did. Okay. And then this was really funny because TLDR put top 9 Unicode characters, and it was just the 1 through 9. And I highly disagreed because Noggles Noggles are also a Unicode. So I wanted to debate that. I beg to differ. And then also, this was funny, bracket of Beatles. And he has an asterisk. They're all terrible. It's like, how do you hate the Beatles? But also, he had Paul and John in the same bracket, and I just could not live with that whatsoever. I can't live in a world where Ringo wins anything that involves the Beatles. Like, no, not ever. Honestly, if there's a bracket of drummers, he is last. Like,
ouch.
No. Just no, he's horrible. They literally had to replace him and bring in a studio drummer on Let It Be. I'm just saying. So anyway, I just thought that was funny. And I've seen some other takes on this version as well. And it's just been a fun little meta. So enjoy. And And also he said Ringo was on Name Alone. And I'm like, okay, still, I can't accept it. This from you, but over on Twitter, because I did not find this mentioned on Farcaster. So I assume that's why we're on Twitter only. Super excited to be part of the Dev Connect creator crew. I'll be in Buenos Aires for the Ethereum World's Fair in November to meet with and interview people who are working to create a freer and fairer internet. And this was from Dev Connect. We're launching the Dev Connect creator crew, a creator first collective of storytellers and amplifiers working together to capture the energy of the Ethereum World's Fair. So this is fun. Love this. Love to see this. And very excited to see and watch you capture all the things in November. Very exciting.
There's a whole group of creators and different kind of storytellers. So it's like visual storytellers and bloggers and interviewers and short form and long form. And they're, they just pulled us into a little group chat yesterday. So we can coordinate.
Love it. I'm pulling up my other, ooh, did I lose one? I lost my base one. Where'd that go? Okay, pulling up my other links. I've been using the Google tabs and it has been working really well for the problems we were having. So thank you, NetNose, for getting me through that. Okay.
NetNose must be very happy.
You know, he was getting very frustrated with me. Not frustrated with me, I shouldn't say it like that, but just very like, it was just funny because I couldn't quite get it to work the way he wanted it to. All right, couple things from Base or Base related. This is from Talent Protocol. It takes 3 simple steps to start earning Wallet Connect Builder rewards. Base name, builder score greater than 40, integrate Wallet Connect in your app. Get started now. So very cool. Wallet Connect has been out there doing some more rewards. They're also doing for mini apps, as has Arbitrum. So look for those opportunities if you're building with any of these tools. Very interesting. I had my students using Wallet Connect the other day because Rainbow wasn't one of the wallets that was an option. I was like, oh, now we get to learn how to use Wallet Connect. And then this from Chompix. I posted this through the Base app. So is Base app another way to access the Farcaster app? I'm so confused. And then tagged GM Farcaster.
GM Farcast Fur.
Fur. But I saw it anyway. Okay. And this was his first post from the Base app. Hello, Base World. So we've explained this a few times, but I, put it in here and I realized that there's probably quite a few people who don't know the differences. So I had laid this out in another cast because of other similar conversations. That was from Ignis, serious question. What's the difference between posting a Base app or Farcaster? So just to sum up, 2 different front-end clients that are accessing the same protocol with differences. So one, if you post on the Base app, your post can be coined on Zora and collected as a coin. If you cast on Farcaster or Base app, you opt in and you opt in on Farcaster, your cast can be collected as an NFT. If you cast on Farcaster, you qualify for Farcaster rewards. If you post on Base app, you qualify for Base rewards. For videos are highlighted differently. This is kind of a big one. There's a very obvious video feed on the Base app. There is a video feed on Farcaster. It's just a little more hidden. It's a little tiny icon in the top right if you're on mobile. Or if you click on a video in either app and then just keep scrolling up, you'll see more videos. It kind of brings you into a video feed. 5 different algos, very different algos. I always see different things anytime I go back and forth. So different algos. I suggest having both because it does give you a different view as to different parts of the ecosystem. And the one that I left off, and I can't believe I left it off of all people, channels. Left off channels completely. Because I posted this and I said, what did I forget? And everyone's like, channels? And I was like, oh, duh. That's why I post more on Farcaster right now, because I do post a lot in channels, and you can't do that on base. So you will see the tag and you'll see what channel it's in, but you just don't, it doesn't work the same. So any other things that you can think of that I may have left off? I think that was everything. That's the differences between the two.
No. I think
and
you
just like
it really well. And I think you're right. Like I take for granted that people may not realize what the difference is or that there is. It is so cool that yes, you can cast from the base app and you can see your cast in Farcaster and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. I think you captured it really
and also
well.
There's a lot of people who don't realize it. I also answered a similar question for Austin, who used to work with Doodles, and he's now doing his own project. Austin Hurwitz over on Twitter had asked that question, a similar question, and I was like laying out, hey, this is what it is, and also was asking like, why? What's the benefit? Like, is it worth our time? Are we going to reach enough people? And I said, well, right now it's fairly small, but here's who's on the waiting list, and it's going to be a go-to. And if you're doing anything on base, you absolutely should be thinking in terms of a mini app and a presence and all that. If you're not building on base, I still think you should, but it's probably less priority. I think it's high priority if you're building on base. If you're not building on base, I think it's still a great place to especially capture early adopters. So still great to do it. Depends on your other priorities. So but also if you are building something and you have questions, reach out. We're available for strategic advising. By the way, I watched South Park last night. It was so funny. The strategic advisor joke. If you haven't watched it this week, that part was funny.
I'm saving it because I watch it with my son now. It's our favorite show to watch together. South Park has been so good.
So funny.
They are, yeah.
The Labubu stuff, so funny. ChatGPT stuff, so funny. I mean, there's like the political stuff is funny too, even if that's not your thing. There's so much they're making fun of many things. Prediction markets were this week.
One, well, I saw on Twitter the screenshots, so I can't wait to watch it.
It was funny, but strategic advisor, yes, we're happy to be your strategic advisor.
Prof,
that's going to be my new thing.
Prof, are you using base or Farcaster more often? Are you going back and forth?
I'm going back and forth, but I still am using Farcaster more. And that is for two reasons why that's happening for me personally. One is channels, because I like, if I'm posting anything about GM Farcaster, I want it all on the channel. It's just easier just for even myself to go back and reference. So that's a main reason. Second is honestly rewards. Once you get sucked into the game, it's hard to pivot out. So that's what's really funny is we were having that discussion at base camp, and I mentioned this to Dan. I'm like, we're at base camp and there's so many people going, yeah, but if I post on base app,
right. So base has their own rewards. Base has their own rewards too, but I think it goes down to creating habits and digital habits. Like when you're used to opening up, right? Like the Farcaster app, even like the smallest little changes in the UI, if you're going from base to Farcaster, make it so you're less likely to change. I mean, switching so that's the whole network effect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is a good, and I see what you're, and they do have a different spam, whatever I'm looking for, like the spam indicator that Farcaster is using to hide some of those folks that are super, super spammy is not necessarily being used by base. So they might be slower to pull some of those out. And that's why you see different numbers also on all the protocol, all the clients. You're going to see different numbers of followers depending on how they limit spam.
And your follower number will only go down.
Only down. Only down. It's the least amount of followers I have is on Farcaster itself.
Right.
Like I have a little bit more on the base app. I have way more on the ones that don't do any filtering whatsoever for spam. Filtering. That was the word I was looking for. Yeah. So
I find myself only using Farcaster. Look, because I was away. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but I was off the grid in Western Mongolia.
Were you gone? Were you not around for 3 weeks? I missed that.
And so we did have Starlink with us, and we had a generator that would power on at night so we could charge our devices. So but in my limited time, I had to be very choosy. So I was really only using the Farcaster app. I didn't open the base app while I was gone. However, I want to use it. Like, because I also want to open Zapper, and I want to open Uno, and I want to try everything. So now that I'm back, my intention is to kind of go back and forth.
I haven't done enough
keep
with
using
Zapper.
both.
Yeah.
I haven't either. Even the Zapper's in beta, like it's still in test. I think it's still test net. So
yeah.
I
think it is too.
So, yeah. but I do intend to use them all. Except, by the way, speaking of, I don't care about the leaderboard because I'm not.
It's not your worth.
I refuse to allow someone else to,
determine your worth.
Yeah. But oh my God, I'm so high up on the leaderboard this week that I might be a convert.
It's so funny because like you came back with I haven't checked this morning, but yesterday you were at 11. Let me just do a quick update on that right now because you came back
10.
like
holy
a fury.
Shit, guys! Holy shit!
Did you hit 10?
This is the highest I've ever been.
As soon as you can see another tier in sight or you hit that tier, it's very hard to walk away. You get like then you're like,
because it's the game. Because I guess it's a game.
And this is what I was talking with Burr about this too, because when the week started, she was at number 1. You normally can't stay there. Like it's very, very hard. But she's like, okay, but I can make a run this week. Like I'm going to make a run for it. And, and it was because of that, like early, okay, I'm already way up here. I know I'm going to cross down, but let me see how I can push this and start to make it that game. And there's enough of an incentive that it's worth doing. So it's not your worth, blah, 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 but also it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to put. It's also some of it's just like, can I push myself? How can I do this within the way I like to cast, not just for, engagement farming and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of a challenge. So everybody's coming for the dog is what we're all saying. I don't know if Bert's not awake. It's too early for him. Sometimes Bert's hanging out in the chat, but not today. I do need to, I definitely Zapper and Clanker rhyme.
Was that a joke? Someone posted that. I saw that. And was this about this was the letter, the open letter,
the letter
to Clanker from Zapper. And I was like, but they don't rhyme, but okay.
They don't. Yeah. He was just memeing. That was so funny.
I mean, Zapper, Clanker, GM, Farcaster.
They rhyme too. Not really. This is interesting. I actually prefer using Farcaster more because the base app kind of looks complicated and has lots of issues. I think it's just there are a lot of pieces to it. There's some complexity to it. You're also going from 2 different approaches here. You're taking a wallet and adding a social feed, and vice versa. Farcaster, you started with the social feed and added a wallet. And honestly, I think adding the social feed to a wallet is harder. I think it's easier to add the wallet. So
and listen, and Farcaster only has 37 users, so
exactly.
They are free to build. Like they can mess up in public. It's really hard for Coinbase to mess up in public because you already have millions of users, and
that's why it's still in beta. It's still in beta. Yeah. If you find report any feedback for real.
And they are excellent at receiving feedback. They appreciate it. They know they're not perfect. They're listening, learning. So just give
absolutely
send feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Few things from some of our builder friends. This from OK Banger next Tuesday, September 30th, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. UTC. Okay, so 4 hours. I was right. It was 4, not 5. Kristen and Cameron returns with a whiplash. So OK Banger is coming back. They've been off for a little bit. So excited to see them, our friends, Kristen and Cameron, back. This from Cardno. Planning your trip to DevConnect and have questions you want answered by experts. Actually, this would be great for you, Adrian. Join Warthalter and Sassel on the ETHStaker YouTube channel at 5 p.m. Eastern, October 10th, for a friendly review of what you absolutely need to know before coming to Buenos Aires for DevConnect. If you didn't know, Patricio Warthalter, co-founder of POAP, is from Argentina. And from Buenos Aires, I think in particular. I don't know about Sassel, but maybe Sassel is as well. Sassel is also very big within Ethereum in the whole ecosystem. So this will be a really good session. If you're going to DevConnect, highly recommend that you give this a watch and jump in with your questions for them. This from Sahil, and this is related to Cura's updates. They've made a few updates. They're doing some new things here. This is from Sahil. Excited to onboard Javabu to build and grow a home base for politics on Cura. We're going to support him in curating the best politics-related conversations feed, onboard net new users, and enable crypto native incentives and mini apps for the politics channel. And I think part of what Cura is trying to do, where we were just talking about channels a little bit, is to allow people to onboard directly to a channel to more easily find their people. So creating ways to do that. So check that out as well. And the politics channel, generally speaking, I find it, with a few exceptions, to be a good place to have those discussions where they tend to be respectful and interesting. So there you go. In GM Farcaster news, whatever could this mean? Toady and Garrett and JC and question mark. Ooh. Adrian, what could this possibly be?
Okay, if you don't know, where have you been? Okay. Toady, Garrett, and JC are the winners of Cast Out season beta 1 and 2.
Correct.
And I feel like you're teasing the next season.
I am. Exactly. That would be the correct guess. So we have Cast Out, which is our game that highlights different things that are happening on Farcaster, different builders, different mini apps, and in a survivor-inspired competition with tribes that compete in these different challenges to earn some prizes. So we are very excited to bring that back. Next week, we'll have some more details, exactly when it's happening, some of our sponsors that are, or at least one sponsor that's coming on, which I'll mention that in just one second. And then we'll also have signups start in terms of bringing your tribe together. We may expand it a little bit. We're going to see how the demand is, but we'll have somewhere between 8 and 16 tribes that will play the game, and excited. It's always fun. Awesome. So very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also, Adrian, we don't have time for this. We'll do this offline, but we need a mini app. I have thoughts.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
I have thoughts. So we need a mini app. So we have one. So I did mention that we do have one sponsor who's already on board, and that sponsor is also coming on as a spotlight sponsor. So you may have picked up on this from my background, but you may not have. So here's the full background. Oh, drum roll. Drum roll. I forgot the drum roll. And maybe the gong too. Clanker is coming on board as of Monday as a spotlight partner. So on Mondays, every Monday, we will have a special segment that'll be about halfway through our show, about like 30 minutes in. That will be a Clanker spotlight for the next month. We're going to experiment with this, and we'll have about like a 5-minute, like where we kind of focus on what's new with Clanker, like the protocol itself, what's new in terms of new projects that are coming out that look interesting, that have some, have a Clanker token attached with them. What are people doing that are interesting? And then we'll also be highlighting some of those projects and doing some interviews with folks that are building and incorporating Clanker into what they build. So we're looking for folks who are doing interesting things with Clanker. Yeah, so I'm very excited. And they'll also be our title sponsor for the next season of Cast Out. So yay. And I'm still finalizing a name. I'm back and forth on things. I got to talk to you about that. I have ideas, but I'm not
Let's end the show. Let's end the show and go to private talk.
Yeah, we have to talk about that because I'm not sure where to go with this. I have a couple of ideas and then I'm back and forth on it. So anyway, so we'll have all that announced next week. And then we'll start going into that. It will Cast Out will be at the end of October. It'll be the last week of October, first week of November. 8 days of fun, and look for that. And there will always
asks a good question.
Yes. So last week of October, first week of November. Usually the first couple days are the busiest, is what I'll say.
It's funny because what you said the first time you ran it is you don't need to take off time from work.
Of course you don't.
You said really you don't. You said it's not that time consuming.
It's not that time consuming. You can
that
do
was a lie.
In your spare time. Still have
I guess it depends
tokens.
It depends if you want to win. Oh yeah.
That is good because something next week is all I'm going to say to that.
Cast token was a Clanker?
Right? Clanker, early Clanker, very early. Clanker. Like the first week it came out. It was the first token I did. I think it was the first token I did on Clanker. So it has a very different mechanic than the current Clanker. Do with that what you will. I'm not going to say any more right now. Next week, more to talk about. All right, Adrienne, we've got one last topic to get into. So, here we go. Sky Castle launched yesterday. Congratulations. It's Basil and Garrett have launched Sky Castle. I'm going to read through a little bit of this. There's a lot of detail in here. There's a great paragraph post I did dive into. It helped to clarify a few things. So today we introduced Sky Castle and our network token $Sky. Sky Castle is the tokenized incubator for the base and Farcaster ecosystems. We help early builders become credible founders and unify our network under one token. It goes on, we're here because the token landscape is fractured. Thousands of micro tokens launch each day. Most underperform ETH and nearly all fragment liquidity in communities. Too often builders ship alone with broken token models and poor distribution, while users burn time and capital rotating across narratives and chain. The result, speculation without alignment, a liquidity carousel, and a dead end. Sky Castle unifies this chaos into a single compounding network. We do this by incubating apps and taking a fixed 5% of supply to our treasury. We then defend that treasury with automated buybacks should our market price fall below our net asset value. Okay, gets into detail about all of that. It gets into the network. It talks about a network. Our network is anchored by 30 partners, bringing expertise across tokens, product, engineering, marketing, distribution, community, and capital. Beyond that, we expand to a council of 64, invited by partners and aligned via shared incentives to broaden reach, perspective, and support. Including our 2 founders and 4 senior advisors, the network extends 100 deep, all working for and committed to the success of the project. A little bit more detail here on the token itself. 30% of supply was allocated pre-market to 30 partners. There is a lockup with that and vested over 18 months. And then a few other pieces of the puzzle here. Okay. Couple things. This from Jeff Goldberg. Cabal member. There is no Cabal. Me, I can see you with shoes poking out, which I thought was very funny. And then this was, there is no Cabal, just a bunch of insiders casting images of Sky Castles who clearly knew Sky was about to launch. Okay. Cabal this, Cabal that. But there were this was in planning for a while. There were partners who were part of the launch. So yes, there was some known things that were happening, and some of them did. I think some of them did buy themselves because most of it was locked up. The percentage that they're being allocated, and I think that was also to support the project. So do with that what you will. But this has been one of the criticisms that has been out there regarding this launch. And here's the other one. This is from our friend JC. I think Sky Castle is a great concept. It helps focus liquidity. Caballing becomes somewhat more public and transparent, and there are clearly some very strong and solid names backing this project. For all these reasons, I bought some Sky, both on my FC and non-doxed wallets. That said, I'd be remiss in not mentioning my disappointment in the lack of diversity in the partner network. Forgive me if I'm mistaken here, but as far as I can tell, Debbie is either among or the only woman on this partner list. If the expertise offered by this group is strategy, PMF, product build, comms, GTM, brand, UX, and tokenomics, then I can assure you there are plenty of bright, experienced women on Base and Farcaster who fit the mold. I could tag some of them here, but the list would honestly be too long. I also had that same thought. I also want to be really clear. I personally know a lot of people associated with Sky Castle to be terrific, bright, and inclusive individuals. So this isn't run-of-the-mill FUD aimed to tear them down. I just think the optics here matter, and I'm not sure if it was intentional or an oversight, but either way, I'm disappointed that a project with so much promise and visibility missed the opportunity to set a stronger example on diversity and representation, especially given how central inclusivity is to building long-lasting communities. Okay. And there was a response from It's Basil to this post. We hear you. 3 of 4 said no. I know it's still not great, but DEF wasn't supposed to be 1. Good news is our council has 64 seats that aren't filled yet. Appreciate the support, JC. Okay. I'm also going to mention this from Burr. Like JC, I also bought Sky and believe in the concept. Honestly, I never even checked the men-women ratio because I consider Farcaster pretty inclusive. It's definitely disappointing to see only 1 woman among 30 advisors. As Dad Burr would say when I was younger, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. And then we have this from Derek. And I think this is a good take on both of these issues. So I want to read this. My takes on the categories of Sky critiques I've seen, little asterisk, I'm just one guy. I don't speak for everyone in Sky, nor should I. These are my opinions and are not likely to be shared by my fellow partners.
What is Derek's role?
Derek is one of the partners in this.
Okay.
Just one of the 30. One of the 30. Yeah. Okay. Lack of diversity. I don't believe in quotas, and I believe that diversity is more than external appearance, gender or otherwise, but this is a real short-sighted failing. I'm guilty, and I'm sorry. I will speak for myself and say that I'll strive to do better here. Okay. Cabal accusations. Cabal in modern parlance is just a mid-curve word for what's referred to as mafias, PayPal, YC, etc. in SB, in Silicon Valley. Short of a solo founder doing a fair
and mafia is just a mid-curve way of saying personal network.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just a network of people. Yeah. Short of solo founder doing a fair market launch like Native, this will be a perennial barb. That said, a true cabal would not be as visible as this group is. You know who's in it. You know how it works. The docs are available on day 1. It's a token on the open market. Yes, it took premeditated coordination and planning that didn't involve posting every decision to the feed, see Dow's Rainbow M&A department, etc. But that's how the real world works. I love the Rainbow M&A department. The NAV model, very fair sets of questions here. My assessment in joining Sky was primarily around this. My answer, the NAV model, especially when tokenized, aligns our incentives with founders and token holders from day 0. It puts the onus on us to A, pick great projects with plenty of room to grow and move the needle for our entire space, and B, help add value to those projects through effort and elbow grease. Okay. Okay. I think, it covered the cabal stuff very well, and we'll just leave it there. Like, you can be upset if you didn't get the earliest of early. I will say that this was one of the first big tokens, I think, that had the new sniper tech built in. Like that had just gone live Wednesday. There's been, I'm sure, a bunch more. There have been a bunch more. And there's a funny, I forgot to pull that one. A funny cast from Ramsey about a token that he launched, and it was the day of the sniper tech had just gone live, and the person who sniped and got hit with the tax asked them to reimburse him, which I just thought was hilarious. But anyway, so there was that, that was part
Wait,
of
I
it
actually didn't even follow the new sniper tax.
So there's a new sniper tax.
If you're an early, but if you try to snipe early,
like the first 15 seconds.
Penalized?
Yes, because the first 15 seconds of the launch has always been the bots who are buying a ton of supply and then they dump as soon as there's any volume. So and it's all automated. It's not, they're buying like everyone, or they're buying them from certain, like sometimes they build in like the Nanar score or something like that.
Sure.
To just pull the ones that they think are going to pop. So that is now getting taxed. So there's that part of it with any of these launches. So, that was helpful. But also, I think because of the visibility of who was sharing the token, who's involved as partners, of course, there was going to be like a big hype and a big buy. And so there was some concerns around that. But I don't think the Cabal stuff is that big of a deal. Okay. So now on the thing that everybody has been picking me about, were the partners. Yeah. Not a good look. Not a good look is the best way I could say it. Like, I feel icky about this. I like the folks who are involved here. I like, a lot of these people I have worked with, or I know well, I'm friendly with, who are on this partner list. So no shade to them whatsoever. And, Debbie's amazing, but like, we can probably find more than one. I appreciate that Basil was like, we did ask, but 3 of the 4. And I was like, oh, you asked a whole 4. But okay. I appreciate the effort. So here's why some women in the space might be just a little put off by this. And I'll speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for all women. Because that would be dumb. This like threw me off a little bit. I didn't see this until I'd already bought the token. I didn't digest this until later. And then I kind of just let it sit. Because I was like, I think I need to process this a little bit, because I don't want to overreact, because especially knowing these particular crew of guys, I don't think this was intentional. I think it was very much we didn't even realize. I really do. And
I'm pretty sure it's never intentional.
It's never intentional.
No one ever. Listen,
well, that's not true. That's not true. There's a whole host of folks that are literally trying to take away our 19th Amendment rights. So sometimes.
Okay, but that is the minority. When you're launching something, like you're building a team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never intentional.
It's not intentional, but sometimes that's the problem, right? So this is kind of, I think this was the best way I could describe my feelings, was this GIF. She's not dead. She's just having an existential crisis. So there's a point in the Barbie movie where she just falls to the ground because she just is like, she's just like, I'm just so over like having to, fight for my rights kind of thing, that it's just like, it's exhausting. So when you put it into the context of all the other things, it's just like, one more thing. It's like one more time where it feels like underrepresentation. But also, I appreciate that, like, you're building a project, you're building with the people that you want to build with. That is 100% you're right. You're pulling people that you feel are bringing the right expertise to the table. when you're pulling from your own networks, a lot of times those networks might be the gender that you are. Would I have liked to have seen somebody like a Maggie Love being, reached out to pull into something like this? Absolutely, because even if she was not available, she's the founder of SheFi. Even if she wasn't available, she could definitely have pointed you in the right direction of quite a few people. If you didn't know where to go with this, and it may have led to some filling in some holes that maybe you have within the group that you have. So just, another reason for diversity there. But it's like, I am in a different place than I was even 4 years ago on this topic. And it's the exhaustion of it all, where I've kind of given in a little bit to like, this is just the way it's going to be in tech, in crypto for a while, until there is just more women, period. Like as users, as everything, as builders, as everything, because it's just less visibility. You end up networking with them less. And that way it just becomes this like self-fulfilling thing that just compounds. Because if your network is mostly men, then you're going to be pulling more men into projects, and more men are going to get that opportunity. And that's like, it just continues, because I've been fighting this for a while, and I'm like, I'm tired. So I'm not going to fight. I'm going to build my own thing. But also just know, like, when I see something like this, it's giving me an ick. And that's now a you problem. Because if it's doing that for me, it's doing that for a lot of women. And there are going to be less women inclined to, okay, you have this council you're expanding to, but there's going to be less women inclined to want to participate when they feel a little slighted.
That's actually what we should talk about, which is like, why, right? Like, why does it matter? Right. So one, so much talk about who's on the partner list and the feelings associated with it, but go back to like, what are you even building? So what is Sky Castle? What's it called? Like
Sky Castle. Yeah.
Sky Castle. All right. You're building a Farcaster incubator.
Yeah.
So my critique about the announcement was there was so much talk about token stuff. Like it wasn't even clear to me exactly what you're building. There wasn't as much focus on who you're serving, what your vision, like that.
You mean there wasn't enough focus on what the token would do?
There was, but it didn't. It was like, our token's going to be different than all the others.
Not in the way you'd like to see.
I did channel my inner. I was reading the announcement. I channeled my inner random arrow, and I was like, I don't understand it. By the way, I did not get a heads up. I'm not in any cabals. I didn't know this was coming. I barely saw, and when you're doing a launch, it's normal. There's two ways to launch, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of go out on a launch day when you're planning, getting people to help you spread the message. You need to then have your group chats and your cabal to help get that message out. Or you can, do more of a slow build in public. I didn't even see Basil or Garrett put their names on this.
That's true. It's not
in the announcement. It didn't even say who the founders are. So this was a little bit of it was a little bit of a mystery to me. So,
it could use more clarity. It could use more explanation.
It felt like the launch announcement was talking to people who already knew about the launch announcement. It was like too insider coded. So as someone who was reading it from the outsider, I don't know who's behind it. Tell me who's behind it. It helps you garner more trust, because I like Basil and Garrett, and I've seen so tell me who's behind it. Tell me focus more on what you're going to be building and who you're serving. And when you talk about the token, it too much, it felt more insider.
Yeah.
Like, here's how we're going to benefit the holders, not the people we're serving.
Here's what we're trying to do. Here's how we're trying to build up and be an incubator for things on Farcaster, which, by the way, I love the idea. Crossroads was another approach to this, that didn't get off the ground, but was a concept. So this is something that's been kind of percolating for a while and makes a lot of sense. So
launching within a social network is trickier than launching outside, because guess what? We're a network. We have friends. Yeah. That is one of the reasons why people take it personally when they're not, if you're not included in something. Like, it's different than it's like, oh, I don't know.
By the way, I'm sure there's a lot of guys who feel left out too. Like, as much as we're talking about the women, I'm sure it's a
not
ton
just
of
that.
dudes
It's
who are
just
just like,
because
why didn't you ask me?
Right. It's just like, we're all
There's a lot of
friends.
that.
So
Yeah.
we're going to
Yeah.
feel, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the reason is like, okay, so Farcaster, we love Farcaster and we
Yeah.
believe in Farcaster, and we believe there should be more companies built on top of Farcaster. We built GM Farcaster on top of Farcaster. Like, so, and we believe in growing the pie. So the more founders, the more developers, the more companies built in this ecosystem, the more everyone benefits, whether you hold Sky or not. Like, you know,
Right.
good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I can make a joke about the Farcaster token, but I know we have new people in the audience, so I don't want to spread FUD.
Don't do it.
Okay. We hold ETH. Okay. Anyway, that's not the point. My point
Hold
is,
on, let me just get this ready really quick pause.
Okay.
This house believe. Okay. Anyway, continue on.
No reward. Okay. But here's why representation matters, right? Is if it's who you're going to attract. Are you going to attract? And there, you know, human psychology 101, women founders feel more comfortable often, not 100%, right? With women mentors, when it's like this whole idea is like, you can't be what you can't see. You want to like, this is why it's important to show many different types of paths. And we've gotten this feedback just about our show. There's people who like to watch news about Farcaster from women.
Yeah.
Because they're women and they don't see themselves in others. Our audience,
because most of the other content is 20-something bros. It just
is
like it's crypto. Yeah, like crypto content tends to be very, you know, Gen Z dude coded, and it's like, so when you bring something different, then those folks who don't feel like they connect with that have an opportunity to like dive in. So yeah.
So yeah, so that is all. What do you?
Your Cabal membership is not your worth.
By the way, there's Cabals happening right now. There's other people launching things. My other critique on the launch announcement, and I guess
also, hold on one second. Yeah, the GM Farcaster Cabal, and that's why I said you are all the GM FC Cabal. Seriously, if you're in our chat on a regular basis, you guys get a lot more insight and like alpha than most others. Like, even if they listen later on or aren't listening at all, you definitely do, because we're always sharing stuff that's very early. So like, yeah, I agree. Anyway, continue.
And you can get in with our Hypersub membership.
I know. There you go.
Shill. Okay.
Shill.
But it is. I just say there's a million things that are, that I want to go back to critiquing the announcement.
Yeah, sorry, go back to the announcement.
My final critique, and I'm allowed to do this because Garrett Norbazel texted me, DM'd me to include me. The announcement, right, was the launch of a token and a concept, and they're going to be built it. By the way, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I do want you to succeed. I love you guys.
Same.
I do want you to succeed. I want a Farcaster incubator to succeed. So hit me up if I can help you. That would be great. You should succeed. My critique on the launch announcement was more on a stylistic perspective, which is how you're communicating. So again, it sounded like you're talking to insiders, not outsiders. But two, there was a lot of talk about this is what we do, but you haven't done anything yet. So it wasn't a aspirational, this is our plan and this is what we hope to do and this is how, but it was like, we incubate. But who have you incubated yet? So that was my other. I haven't done anything.
Haven't done anything yet.
So you captured attention. Sadly, you captured attention sometimes, for the wrong thing. But also Streisand effect. Guess who's spent the last half an hour talking about Sky Castle?
Exactly. We would not have spent this much time on it. So there you go.
So congratulations on your launch.
Congratulations on your launch. And also, kind of where, my first, I have to tell you, like, I had to fight my first reactions. My first reaction was to cast a list of all the amazing women that are on Farcaster. And I started typing it, and then I'm like, first of all, too many. I'm going to forget people, and also chill out as I'm talking to myself. And then my second one was to launch Pink Castle or like Princess Castle or something like that. And I was like, okay, just don't. It's not necessary. It really isn't. It's because it's not that big of a deal. But I was
not that deep.
I was like, I don't have time. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't have time to like try and do something, you know. But also, I'm going to just point again to SheFi, great organization. Check them out. Really supportive of women, especially supportive of women who want to learn about DeFi and crypto, and providing a space that makes it comfortable to do that. So, that's all.
Can I share just the last thing that I said to you before we went live?
Yeah.
Okay. I've spent the last 3 weeks in Western Mongolia, off grid. I would say touching grass, but there's very little grass because it was pretty desert-like. Although the goats were able to find like the tiniest little pieces. Anyway, I digress. My nervous system is in a completely different place than it was 3 weeks ago.
So in other words, she thinks I should go to Mongolia.
There is a sense of calm because with perspective,
yeah,
I can't I can't get worked up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, so
I honestly have had the most calm reaction than I normally would. So I'm pretty proud of that. It's literally, yes, a spite incubator, honestly.
And yes, got the Curb Your Enthusiasm reference. And wouldn't Farcaster be so fun with a Larry David?
Oh my God. Please. We'd love that. Would love that. But I really was like this close, and I'm like, you don't have time to do this well. Don't do it. Like, stop. You don't have to do this. But you know, we got feelings.
I think a lot of this angst and stress is displaced.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I don't like.
I 100% agree with that. Yes.
I don't like when my literal like women's rights are being attacked.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm going to take it out on my friends because you slighted me.
Yeah. 100%. Like, and that's
not that it's not valid, and that's it's like,
that's why I posted this. It was just really like, I'm exhausted. Like, I just needed to stop. Like, I don't want to fight anymore. But yeah. So anyway.
Okay. Thanks for having that conversation.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Adrian.
Welcome back, Adrian. One last thing. Go check this out from our friend Thumb. I'm not going to play it, but he finally got his Inside Basecamp trailer that he was putting together. It was taking him forever to do. Go check it out. It's so good. And he took it. He was you could see him getting frustrated live. Yeah, there we are. Live on the timeline. Just being like, getting frustrated with himself of trying to create this. And I really appreciate, like, you put there's a lot of effort into this. So go check it out.
Yes. And can we just take a minute, a Thumb appreciation, because he's ours, as in not ours, like Farcaster ours, like a Farcaster native, really talented video creator.
Yeah.
And he exhibits like all the good qualities of what makes Farcaster special in terms of like good values and human. And we love what you're doing, Thumb. Keep it up. My favorite part about this video is from the people who brought you a new day one and a new day one. That cracked me up. That was really funny. And I think all the other people saying Basecamp were AI generated newscasters, and he threw us in.
Yep.
And literally made my day. So thank you.
Yeah, it's just really good. It's really good. And this is this is the part. So funny. Going from the creators of A New Day One.
A New Day.
A New Day One.
Wait, can I just say, sadly, I'm going to jump back and forth because Azoto Pascaline in the chat is saying the list of amazing women on Farcaster is a good idea. I think someone did that. Yeah, Prof did that the last time there was a woman.
The last time this happened.
The last time that happened. Like, and it wasn't that long ago. Like 2 weeks ago, there was another against women. It was like, oh, there's no women on Farcaster. Actually, there's a handful of talented women on Farcaster.
It's just like, I can't. That's why I'm exhausted. That's why I'm like, I can't keep doing it.
But it's a permabat. Listen, my perspective is, I casted something. I also casted something recently. Like, there's a million setbacks for women happening these days.
It's the Farcaster Rewards leaderboard. Exactly.
Yeah, but we don't deserve it because we're just casting like lifestyle slop yes to crypto. Pictures of dogs and yeah.
Pictures of dogs. It's so insulting when somebody says that Bert is just casting pictures of dogs. I'm like, okay, you clearly aren't paying attention. But anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, all I'm saying is I believe that there is progress if you zoom out long enough. And on a long enough timeline, there's 100% progress. And in between then, trends will come and go and pendulums will shift and and it's going to feel it's turmoil and chaos, and it can feel very dark when you're in it. But what I always do is I look back to like, what were the opportunities my grandmother had and what opportunities do I have today?
Exactly.
And as a woman, I would never have asked to be born at a different time than I do today.
Yeah.
And all I can do is like live my life and try to make the world, better. But it's just, how do I make the world freer, fairer, and more opportunities for my granddaughters? And I'm living on that timeline, and it's cope. And guess what? I go to bed at night happy. So
welcome back, Adrian. On that note.
Thank you. Thank you, Red Wings.
Amazing. And Aqueous, yes, absolutely. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm not putting this list out there because I'm going to forget too many, and I'm just not going to do it. But there are a ton.
Yeah. So, also, Nick, what's your Farcaster username? So I don't know.
You know what? Good point. If you're in the chat and your name doesn't match your Farcaster name, please just give us a quick little, hey, I'm so-and-so, because I like to tag people, and there's been quite a few that I just can't find. So if you're not getting tagged on the thank you post, that is why, because I can't find you. All right. Monday, we will be back with a fresh intro, fresh outro, and a new sponsor. Very excited to welcome Clanker as our latest partner, and excited to work with them, on Cast Out, and some other things we're talking about. So very excited for that. That'll be Monday, and we will 30 minutes in have a Clanker Spotlight where we'll highlight, and that'll be happening every Monday, where we highlight what is happening in the Clankerverse. And that's it. That's all. Happy Friday, man.
I'm really excited. I'm excited to launch this with Clanker. We have loved every single one of our sponsors. We say we're choosy because we really want to align and work with partners that, like, whether they're paying us or not, we're happy to talk about what they're doing. And I'm super excited because Clanker is Farcaster native, and love the team.
Love the team. So very excited to be working with them. And hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here.
And
first episode. Welcome.
Mikado brought Athena in, so thank you.
Oh, nice. That's Nikki Sapp. Yeah. That could be Nikki Sapp. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. We will see you on Monday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. This is really funny, by the way. I'm going to be in a slightly different location in my clubhouse in a conference room, because Monday they're testing all the fire alarms in my building. And it goes off like every 9 seconds. And I'm like, thank God I thought about this ahead of time, because otherwise that would.
You know why I went on mute earlier? Do you know why I went on mute earlier? Not because of my dog.
Oh, it wasn't a dog? Oh.
It's my washing machine.
Oh.
I'm washing some of my shoes that I had at my campsite that had caked in yak and goat shit in it. Like, the soles of the shoes are it was just shit.
No, I immediately just go, and garbage.
No, they're in my, I got rid of the dried off stuff, and now they're in the washing machine. I
would not have brought it home.
But it is like, the machine was like starting to do the clanker, clank, clank.
Clank. Speaking of clanker.
It was, so I muted, and I was worried that it was gonna, I think.
Do it again, but you're good. Okay. That's so funny. I seriously would not have made it. I would not have brought them back. They would have stayed in Mongolia. No question in my mind.
there was shit in our tents because like half
Yeah,
the Gares don't have floors. It's not a tent that has a floor, so it's just on the grass. And then some of them would have rugs on them, and they were wonderful. And then some were just like grass. So it's all herding animals. So like there's literally goat and yak and sheep shit everywhere. But guess what? They're all like they're just grass eaters, so very healthy shit.
Okay, great. But also no.
Fine. But then you don't get to come home with a glow. You'll never
well, you don't
access.
Get to be on this.
You'll never access this glow. You can't reach top 10 on the leaderboard. This is totally worth it.
You must 100%. You can have it. I don't want the action. I just can't. I just can't. I don't camp. I won't camp. I'll never camp. And yes, the yak shit glow. It's what Adrian is sporting.
Can someone screenshot my?
Oh, I'm gonna get this one.
Oh my god, I should do skin products or something, but it's actually not. There's not shit on my face, just so you know.
I can't even. Okay, and with that, everyone, that was hilarious.
Cardno, you're late.
Hey, Cardno,
we
talked about you already.
Yeah, you missed your shout out, dude.
I don't know if you saw it. But anyway, all right, everyone, we gotta go. Okay. We've been hanging for a while. We'll see you on Monday. And with that, everybody, bye.